Hello, and thank you for joining us today to talk a bit about my company, Life Easy, and the experiences that we've had over the last couple months here working within our business. As a couple general ideas, just as a reminder, and kind of what we are as a company, we are a nonprofit based company that is focused on making life easier on other people. What we ultimately strive to do is strive to do tasks and household around the house type of activities that people just would rather not do. Um, and Take those on ourselves in a service-based model. I did charge $20 per job, though that did kind of evolve in a couple different things, which we'll talk about in a moment here. And that was the focus on that. The reason I did $20 per job was my personal time was limited as far as how much time I'd be able to focus on the business. So in order to achieve the $100 goal that we set forth, or that I set forth at the beginning of this venture, this was going to be the price point that would have been successful when weighed against the time aspect of what I had to devote toward the company. I have a profit loss statement in there. It is pretty simple because much of it was centered around service income, and then there weren't, for me, because it was a personal job, there weren't a whole lot of expenses that I had to do. We'll go over that later. Ultimately, the company is a nonprofit, was the focus of it. So the donation of the proceeds is going to another person to make their life easier. It completes the cyclic nature of the company, of the Life Easy concept. There is definitely opportunity within this company if I were to continue it, and if anybody else, any other investors would like to get involved in it, definitely the margins are great, and there is certainly opportunity for continued expansion. So again, the drilling down of focus of the company, it was focused mainly on those around the house type of jobs, chores, things of that nature. So I found myself doing dishes for people, mowing lawns. The dog walking is actually something that developed into, while I talked earlier about a $20 price point. I did a session of 3 different sessions with 2 folks, and I did it for $20. So it wasn't strictly a one-time task like these other opportunities were. This was something where I molded that $20 price point into something that could be a little more applicable to my different customer base. I think cleaning bathrooms was my personal favorite. That was another opportunity that I had to do, and it was definitely $20 worth. So if we look at our profit loss summary of the company, again, there were a total of 6 jobs completed, so it was $20 a piece. So $120 was the income off of this. The only expense that I did have was the gas to travel to it. Track logs and the gas prices, $15.15. Ultimately, was the gas because all the jobs I did were fairly close to where I already lived. So not a whole lot of expense. So overall, the profit and loss achieved my $100 goal. So $104.50 was the overall profit and loss, or the profit for the company over the time that we focused on this. As you can see, the margins are fantastic. So when we get into talking about the different lessons I learned, and we'll get into the different opportunity in a moment here, one of the things that I did run into, and it was partially intentional, but one of the great things that we can do is have a greater focus on the different product offerings. So while I kept it very broad based, there is certainly opportunity to narrow the scope of what this company can do. Narrowing the scope will also help narrow and focus the marketing for the company. I chose to keep a little more broad based because I felt like I could get a little bit more diversity off of what I could offer, and then it also would throttle growth a little bit because of the time aspect that I had to devote to the company. I felt that social media was going to be a strong marketing platform for the company. It turned out that it wasn't as strong as I had anticipated. The most effective type of marketing I got was word of mouth marketing. Folks that I had done a job for previously, they told somebody else, and that seemed to be stronger than the social media aspect. That being said, I still think there is value to the social media aspect, again, when it's more focused on a specific marketing demographic. And then the other thing that I wanted to think is necessary anytime you get involved with a company is creating a brand, or what you stand for, what you look like. That is something that I found to be something that for me personally, I wanted to be somebody who was approachable, that was well kept, looked good, trustworthy, and that's something that I feel funneled into the word of mouth recommendation, because when you create a brand of what you do and who you look like, it only creates further referrals for you to build off of. So I think that's something that we really learned I really learned was strong with with the company and any other company going forward. Now, talking about opportunity, for me personally, this again was a nonprofit, so the donations go to profit somebody else's life, make their life easier. So for me, I wasn't looking to necessarily personally profit off of this, but more so to continue the cyclic nature of the company, the Life Easy concept. However, because of that, the margins are so great that I donate a lot. Now, there is certainly opportunity to, if the donation, if other companies were to buy this, the donation aspect can be throttled back a little bit. So while yes, you could still donate a good amount and maintain the integrity of the company, you can also continue to profit off this company as well, because the margins are so good. The margins can continue with minimal overhead expense. If employees were to be hired, they can be hired at a minimum or a lower wage, because it doesn't deal with skilled labor. And depending on how the hirings go and the market area you're looking at, any other overhead expenses can be kept at a minimum. Personally, for me, I didn't have to go out and buy any supplies. I used the supplies and tools that the folks had around the house, because they are jobs that they would have done themselves already. I just used what they were already going to use. So that helped also keep expenses low for me. That's, again, will continue to benefit them at the margins for the company. The expanded marketing, it can be an opportunity, as we talked about a little bit already, to better focus what the product is offering and who it's offering to. That will, as more time is being able to be devoted to it, that will enhance growth, which will then enhance the margins and the profit of the company. And then we talk about focusing the product offering, and it's focusing on what specific type of tasks we can do. I felt that the package of dog walking was actually something that was not what I intended to do, but I found that could be something that could be fairly successful with this company, if you set up a price point and what we could offer off of that price point for that particular service. So it created more of a recurring and residual type of service than initially anticipated. But the company could definitely benefit on an increase in the product offering and a focus in the product offering. So that was my experience over the last couple weeks. I certainly appreciate any feedback. I look forward to anybody who's looking to get involved with this company and expand what it has to offer. And thanks again for your time.